6 candidates are in the running for 2 seats on Cupertino City Council. As part of the City Channel's ongoing coverage of this race toward Election Tuesday, you are about to see an up-close and personal introduction to one of those 6 candidates. This is Candidate Roundtable with tonight's featured City Council candidate, Kris Wang.
Welcome to Candidate Roundtable. I am Roberta Holloman, a member of the League of Women Voters of Cupertino Sunnyvale and moderator of this roundtable. With me are media panelist Cody Kratz of the Silicon Valley Community Newspapers and Mei Wang of the World Journal, a Chinese language newspaper. Our candidate today is Mayor Kris Wang. Ms. Wang says that during the last 4 years of her service on the City Council and now as mayor, she has actively participated in the community and worked with residents on issues that are uniquely vital to our city. Her voting record reflects that she understands the concerns of the Cupertino community. Mayor Wang says that she has supported the citizens of Cupertino in meeting their concerns revolving around residential development in Cupertino and its impact on our first-rate school system. She has also helped open a new modern library that has since become the busiest in the county. Mayor Wang says Cupertino faces environmental, developmental, security, and urban issues, all of which she can address. She is committed to a greener Cupertino, a safer Cupertino, and an advanced educational system for Cupertino. She supports the ombudsman approach. She states she is fiscally responsible, and her personal strength lies in her determination to treat every tax dollar as a precious and hard-earned commodity, which should not be spent without good cause or reason. She likes being a watchdog. Mayor Wang, what do you see as an important issue facing Cupertino for the next few years?
I think the first one coming in my mind would be the traffic, especially the traffic around schools. And that impact to our environment as well. The public safety, environmental safety, and the timing, put it that way, for the parents going back and forth with the kids in the neighborhood going in and out to work. And that's a challenge into Cupertino.
Thank you.
Mayor Wang, please share with us what are the highlights during the past 4 years of your service on the council.
Well, the first thing I think I really earned a lot of the capability in public speech. As you see, that council immediately being televised on almost all the meetings, and we'll go out to attend a lot of public events and community events, and we need to take the leadership and we need to speak in the public and to the crowd. So public speech is really a good thing that I have learned in the 4 years. And I also have experience working with the community, learning their concerns, and I had the opportunity to work with the staff, knowing their strengths from each department. And so I think I'm ready with all this necessary elements to be a good council member.
Thank you.
Mayor Wang, you say you understand the needs and concerns of the Cupertino residents. What would you say are those needs and concerns?
Education is one of the best values we have in Cupertino. All the parents that they move in here are concerned about the safety, the quality around schools. And so even though we don't run the school systems, however, we provide the environment around schools and making sure that students go and back home are safe, and the quality of the classroom are maintain the high level. Then the traffic around the cities where people go in and out to work. Plus, we get more Apples, decide to stay, which is great. And then also going to build a second campus here to attract more, to bring more employee into the city. So that's another challenge, that we're going to have a more population in daytime. That how do we accommodate in those? the retail stores versus the housings for the employee they stay living in the city, the traffic management. Those are the concerns I think people will have.
If I may, you also mentioned in your initial statement that was read here that traffic safety around schools is one of your big concerns. How would you specifically address traffic around schools?
Very good question. I started this year knowing that as a mayor, we really go out to see each neighborhood and each, the large area as well. The major issue, I think, is around school traffic, safety, kids ride a bike to it, or even the emergency car access become issues around schools. So I think the key is that too many cars on the road at the peak hours, that each parent, because it's different hour, different school, and different schedule, and so most 99% are the one parent drive one kid to the school, and you accumulate the total students in high school and elementary school and the middle school, and plus the neighborhood need to go out to work. So it's thousands of cars on the road around schools. So my idea is to run this pilot program, which provide the public transportation. If the public transportation can replace several cars, individual cars, that will free up the traffic, that will be more safety for the kids that choose to ride a bike or walk to school, and also the safety, the air pollution, provide more walkability for neighborhood too. So all in all, that's what I am pushing. At this point, the council have approved the budget in June, so we're just putting that into execution and hope we'll see that soon.
Madam Mayor, there are times we saw you on minority side, difficult issues. How do you handle the frustration when things don't turn your way, if there is frustration?
Well, I can't deny the frustration. However, I think as a council member, we respect each other. We may have a different vote, different opinion, but after all, at the end, we respect the final result as a majority vote. And I just try my best to express the concern, the issues, the reasoning, why I'm voting that way, and I hope I can get my majority colleague to support my idea. If we holding different reasoning and voted differently, I think as soon as we finish voting and walk out the dais, I respect that decision wholeheartedly.
Mayor Wang, one of those more controversial decisions was two housing developments near Cupertino Square, formerly Valco Fashion Park. Your vote against those has earned you a no-growth reputation, and now the HP law is currently up for sale again. The development proposals are anyone's guess at this point. Where do you stand on housing development now? How do you envision, or what do you envision for spaces like that in Cupertino? And could you point to examples of good and bad development?
Sure. Well, first of all, I wanted to make the correction that people, because I voted no on the two projects, people may label me as no growth, which is not true. My slogan 4 years ago was a smart growth. 4 years later, I'm still saying the smart growth. It's just how do you define the smart growth? In my explanation, the smart growth is that you grow, but you grow with every other element supports that project, that growth. For instance, if putting housing in this piece of property, you want to make sure the school can accommodate in that generating so many students. The traffic has allowed you to get the crowd or the congestion. Our park around there, the quality of the new residents comes in. And those are the things that we as the community leader need to concern and need to put together to make decision, and not just looking from one reasoning, which is we needed more affordable housing, we need to provide more housing. I'm on that too. However, I need to consider other elements as well. Clio Avenue, for instance, is a totally below market rate housing, and I fully support that. And I'm hoping we see more of the Clio Avenue low housing project coming forward. HP side, because that's toward to the major sort of we call downtown area, and I'm hoping that we be able to build more downtown atmospheres in that area, so that it connected to the theater, to the bowling lane, to more the retail stores, and we already have the walkability on the Stevens Creek and along the area. I think that it's kind of naturally grown into a downtown area, and then from that core to expand it out to the both east side and west side. So I will hoping to see that new piece probably to be like mixed use or more it's to fit into the downtown atmosphere.
Mayor Wang, at the end of the day, I think people all concerned with the safety, the security of the neighborhood, of their houses. And I know it's on the top of your agenda too.
Correct.
And we don't have our own police department. We need the service from the county. Do you think they're doing a good job now? Is there any room for improvement?
Oh, I no doubt. I think they did an excellent job, and I think this is the best solution for City Cupertino. We're not large enough to needing to have our own police department. On the other hand, when we contract that out to the county sheriff, they actually provide more than what we can pay for to get that quality. And they did an excellent job in the past under Captain Hoyokawa, and now is under Captain Colorado. They tried very hard. As a matter of fact, the last several years we have been facing the burglary, but we just caught it. We caught 4 of them, lately, and which was great accomplishment. And we've been sitting on top of that every week. We monitor. We're making sure there's some progress. They give us a report, and we want to make sure that neighborhood safety is on the top of their list, which it is.
So you have the confidence that people feel safer than 4 years ago?
I myself do feel that way.
Okay. To learn more about the candidates, you can go to the city website, cupertino.org. And you can also go to Smart Voter, the website of the League of Women Voters. It's a nonpartisan election website, smartvoter.org.
If I may return to the issue of the downtown, at least one of your opponents supports a walkable downtown, as you're describing, referring to Sunnyvale, Saratoga, and Santana Row. There have been proposals for that HP site that we mentioned a moment ago with a mixed use. And do you feel that mixed use should include a lot of housing? Do you feel it should be dense housing? Do you feel like it should be retail focused? What are your thoughts, if you could elaborate?
You mentioned about Santana Row. I think that will be a good model.
Mm-hmm.
The high-end retail stores that, but we can't specify what exactly or type of the retail we wanted to have, because really everything is market driven. I think the developer or the landowner will come back with the best proposals from their market professions. And versus housing, mixed use, definitely like Santana Row has some housing and pretty dense housing, as long as they meet the code, the city general plan code, which is to meet the height, the setback, and all the needs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm okay. We also one time talking about senior home. That might be because we don't have a really called senior home, so that might be a thought that we can look into. But that definitely we need to work with the new owner, which we don't know who they are yet.
Thank you.
Kris, some candidates talk about the more transparent government.
Correct.
Do you agree that we can do better on that part? Because the letting people know what's going on in the city is really important, and obviously a part of the community, they don't feel their voice are heard, or they really know where and why the policy was set that way. So what's your thoughts about that?
The city of Cupertino, our staff has tried very hard. Throughout the 4 years, I've seen the improvement on the website. Nowadays, everybody has the internet. Now everybody has the computer. So we actually improving in the e-government, so that everything e-services. For instance, the sports center, you don't have to physically go there, or you don't have to make a phone call because everything's online. You can sign up your schedule online. Blackberry Farm. All in all, we're trying to push everything up to the website, so totally be e-services. We're trying to put all the information we could think of on the website so people can search on the website. The other thing I actually thought about it was trying to, I would like to see that happen is the open government, which is we have a window that we can have face-to-face. So when people have a question, they can call and we have a face-to-face communication right there, during that window. However, to accommodate that, it takes a lot of the, main powers, a lot of the facility and all that. So I'm still hoping that we can do that in the next 4 years. But currently, the staff everybody know that with the staff ratio with the population is pretty low compared to other cities. So each staff has tried very, very hard and their best to serve the community. Maybe what we need to do in the next 4 years is to increase the decrease the ratio and increase more staff so that we be able to make a more face-to-face dialogue. Everything is high-tech right now, so our first goal is to make everything invisible online and to meet the fast pace of just Silicon Valley.
This might be a good time for you to define the ombudsman approach on your statement. Is that
right? It's open government. That's exactly what I meant. It's open government. We hope that we can set a policy that anybody, whether you send your comment, your request online, or call in or something, we have a certain hour response time, and also. If we have windows and certain hours, certain day of the week to instantly respond to calls and those things, and definitely the mayor's office is always open for the resident. They can call or stop by. So those and we should have a dedicated staff to respond any of those residents' call or requests instantly, and that's the goal.
You talked a bit about your goals for a greener Cupertino in your campaign statements. What are your specific goals in that regard, and how do they mesh with your goals for addressing Cupertino's developmental and urban issues that you also mentioned? Okay.
We know we already start to renovate the Blackberry Farm. We're building the corridor. Those are the environmental, making greener. We're also council adopt the concept of a green sustainability, and we're putting the budget around. And we ask the staff to bring back more feasible plan or project that we can utilize those funding and to make the cities greener and better environment. The public transportation I mentioned earlier is something fit into that concept that we want to save the environment, the energy conservation concept, and the public safety concept in that, and an environmental safer. Those are the concept along with the public transportation. The urban environment is more like the Blackberry Farm. In our urban life, that we need some of the walkabilities and outdoors and those things. The neighborhood parks is another thing that we just funded $1 million to buy the parks by the along Lawrence Expressway, and we're actually in the process of getting the second neighborhood park and also building the trail along the Lawrence Express. All in all, that's all fit into this concept.
So you are pointing to a lot of open space initiatives
Correct.
in terms of that. I also wonder how you feel high density housing or low density housing contributes to that. Some people feel that higher density housing like condominiums is a more efficient use of space, reduces construction materials, reduces suburban sprawl. Do you feel that the city is headed in the right direction in terms of sustainable building practices?
Yes. In that term, we already made the very clear policy to the planning department that any new project turning in, we wanted to advise them to go into that direction to the green building concept. And the density part of it, everybody knows that each city has their allocation that is signed by the ABAC, and Cupertino, we're doing very well. We actually meet the allocation at this point. So anything that this council, current council, the community have worked so hard in the past to get the general plan finished, and so I would fully respect that. As anything that meets the general plan, I don't have any problem with that. And we also stay as a very strong on the meeting the allocation that is signed by ABAC. So we're in the good shape.
Okay, thank you.
We're so happy that our library opens every day.
Right,
Yeah,
7
just
days.
starting a few weeks ago. But still, parents would tell me that they have to check the open hour schedule because they're so different every day. Probably we have 3 sets. So people are saying that maybe, yeah, we're happy 7 days a week. Can we open even longer hours? Do you think it's possible? Do we have that money for the services in library?
Well, that's not pure money issue, because we're under county library system. The county librarian, they have to work out the schedule as a whole library system. And so when they hire employee and they put it in the Cupertino or other libraries, they have to get those. So the dollar amount doesn't go straight into Cupertino hours, because they can't just hire one person to do 1 day work. They have to be able to sort of like working out the entire system and come back with a quote and with hours. So this is we have to trust their profession. They come out with the hours and the suggestion of the operating hours versus dollar amount and the most efficiency, all in the net, and we just followed that, and we funded that money with $240,000 this year. And I think the first goal is to maintain 7 days a week. I think that's more important. The hours, I think, after we just started 7 days, so maybe we should give it 3 months or 6 months, and we'll do a survey around and see what would be the best usage, and then we can implement in that.
On the library point, one of the ideas for how to fund extra hours put out was an entertainment tax on places like the Flint Center. What new revenue sources would you want to pursue on the City Council?
We're very fortunate this year. We have $4.5 million surplus. Part of that, I would say 20% out of the 4.5 are from the TA, which is pretty consistent as now, right? Every year we'll know we're going to get almost $1 million more because of TA, the property tax. So that will be a good resource. And then I didn't support the entertainment tax because generally speaking, I don't like to add taxes to our resident. However, our main resources of revenue are from the sales tax. I think if we do strategically, we should be able to bring enough revenue to support the 7 days.
I know that you have a heart on senior citizens. I saw you visit them and listen to them. Do you think so far our city is providing a good quality service to our senior residents? And do you think yourself, for example, do you think this city would be a nice place to get old in?
I think the City of Cupertino are doing a good job. However, there's still a lot that we need to continue to work on. We have a very high quality senior center, and we provide a lot of services, a lot of programs for the seniors, even the tours and then the languages, the dancing, everything that we can think of. But we do not. There's still not a lot to do. Like for instance, the senior centers. They have transportation issues. I went to visit them, and I'm halfway happy that VTA brought back the half of the bus line back. At least the senior be able to get in and out stuff. I am totally for those underserved people, for like senior citizens, and I think we need to communicate. We don't have a good communication, put it that way. So senior folks need more hands-on. Bring them out to show them what facility that we have, what benefit, what city have done for the senior, and what kind of facility that can utilize. They can get their life better, sort of thing. So I think there's still a way to do it to improve the senior folks' life, their daily life, to be more easier. Transportation are one thing, the program is another thing.
It's time for us to wrap up now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, Mayor Wang, Cody Kratz, and Mei Wei Wang. You can learn more about this candidate and see the other candidates by going to the Cupertino website, where you'll see a schedule of the broadcast dates and times.